everyone, to another edition of Inside Raider Nation live from Zaxby's. Sonny Zepeda, voice of the Raiders, your host for tonight's show. Alongside me is the head coach of the Rouse Raiders, Mr. Josh Mann.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Also joining us tonight is our producer, who's behind the camera, Mr. Chuck Licata, and our QA back in the KMAX studios, Mr. Merle Bertrand, helping us sound so good tonight. Coach, we're ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's go.
He is ready. It's usually, you're always ready
I'm
after
always.
a good win, right?
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Playing on Thursday night, you have an extra day of rest, so you're probably rested up. Maybe too rested?
Maybe too rested.
Maybe two,
It threw us
yeah.
kind of out of whack. The whole weekend was weird. It was like a mini bye week in there.
Which is kind of unusual, right?
Very
At this
unusual.
point in the season. But
very unusual.
we want to thank our sponsors for bringing you Rouse Raider football and Inside Raider Nation this 2018 season. Want to thank our featured sponsor, Zaxby's, who's also our host tonight. The Fan Club, Mighty Fine Burgers, Rudy's Barbecue, State Farm Insurance Agent Richard Munoz, Bush's Chicken, Mad Training, PDQ, IT Backbone, Chicken Express, Whitestone Physical Therapy, Austin Telco, Smile On Orthodontics, Walks It To You, Serrano's, Shop 1431, Shiny Dental, Safeguard, Dos Salsas, Club Z Tutoring of Cedar Park, the Tri-Doc, and our friends over at the Rouse Youth Football Association, which we've got some of those guys in the house tonight.
Yeah, we've got the youth guys. Can't wait to get them up on the mic tonight, see what they drop.
They are ready. Coach, every
We're
week.
having a rap battle tonight. I hope y'all got your lyrics ready.
He's our producer's got some good beats he's going to lay down for you, so you guys better be ready. Kai, you ready? He's not sure about that one, Coach. We may have scared him away. We're just going to get right into last week's game, 41-13 win over Pflugerville Weiss. And, Coach, in the first half, just kind of looking through the drive summary, you punted one time in the first half. You came out, and it was a 14-0 lead before we could even turn around and figure out what was going on. I'm sure Weiss was feeling the same way. But you did have in that first half, Ugo had a couple interceptions, couple of fumbles, or at least one turnover that resulted in a touchdown for Pflugerville Weiss, their first varsity touchdown in school history, being a new program that's easy to do, I guess.
Yeah.
But he rambled 55 yards for the touchdown. Talk about the first half and kind of you started really hot on offense. Talk about on the defensive side as well.
Well, it's part of the start offensively because the last 2 weeks, our first play of the game has kind of been a debacle. You know, coaching mistake. The week one didn't quite have the personnel set on the field. You know, week two we don't get the snap time with the motion, and so we're immediately starting behind the chains. Where this week we started off with a big play right out the gate. You know, that was nice to get us momentum going, offense striking early, and putting a young team without the experience that Weiss has, definitely put them behind the eight ball a little bit there. So I was real proud of that. The efficiency we worked defensively. I thought, you know, from start to finish was probably one of our better nights, minus one really play. We played pretty flawless defense, and that's hard to do. I don't care who you're playing. You know, there was a little disappointing there, you know, where the spell of the two back-to-back turnovers. You know, we give a turnover that allows them to get on the board and make it a 14-6 game, and then turn around on the opening kick and fumble it back to them again. You know, and it had a little bit of eerie feeling of the week before with Anderson, where we're out early and then we allow an opponent through our mental mistakes get back into the game. And so I was proud. One of our big challenges for our defense, though, coming out of the Anderson game, coming into this, is there's going to be opportunities and times we're going to be throwing that position as a defense, whether it's a specialty turnover, an unfortunate bounce that goes wrong for our offense, or something happens that you got to go out there and respond. You can't give up points, and we didn't answer that call very well against Anderson. And that first series out, we answered that call after the turnover on the kickoff, and we ended up getting the interception by Ugo in the red zone because they had a chance to go right there, tie game. Now it's back on edge, and we don't know where it is. So I was real proud of the resiliency there of the defense to bow our neck up, and then our offense, when they put their foot back down and got back on the throttle, we definitely were showed our maturity, showed our senior leadership, showed that we're a growing program that's been where they are. I know we'll kind of hit on that later, but you know, in establishing our physicalness, I thought it was one of our more physical games across the board, defense, offense, special team wise.
So you had some injuries on the defensive side coming into the game last week, and so the mentality has always been at Rouse, next man up. And so talk a little bit about those guys who stepped into that role and did a good job, not just on the defensive side, but, you know, offense pretty healthy. But just talk about the tandem on the offense that helps. You had a 2-back set that you went with this week, a little bit and we kept saying on the air, a little bit of thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
Probably confused some people because, the clouds in the area, and we had to remind them the thunder and lightning is in the backfield, not in the sky. But talk a little bit about the next man up and then the duo in the backfield that it's kind of a luxury to have.
Yeah, we were fortunate, on the defense side. The week before, we lost a couple of guys. Looks like we'll have a shot to get a few of those guys back here sooner than we thought, which is good news on the injury front. But, yeah, guys like Everton Ruff, who, is a new kid to our program that, played in middle school but tried the basketball route, now coming back to us. He had a big game stepping up and filling in for Isaiah at the corner spot. He had a pretty good game. We got fortunate a couple times. We had some busts, but they didn't find it, so that's always good. But he stepped up. He played a really good game for us. Western Dickerson, a kid that we were working on the offensive line to try to provide us depth, and then because of some injuries, we've had to pull him back over to the defensive side. I was really proud and impressed that he came on and played as well with the other starters that were in the game as well. So it gave us a little bit of that opportunity and depth that we needed there on the defensive side. Then offensively we lost, one of our inside slots last week, but luckily, again, good news. Looks like he'll be back maybe this week, maybe next. Not sure yet how we're still looking at how we're going to approach it with Mark. But, again, Drew Henson stepping up in that role early in this year when Jack was down. Jack moved around a couple different spots the other night. Played multiple receiver spots, which shows his ability to be adaptable on the field. And then, we had some young ones brought up, which you don't see provided as special teams depth. Aaron Bragdon and Karen Stewart, a lot of those guys that we moved up onto varsity that are sophomores so that we can have that depth on special teams so we're not just maybe over-exalting us. And they got that opportunity to get in and play in that game, which is vital for some, down-the-road experience.
So talk a little bit. At one point, it was 14-6 after they scored their touchdown, and then senior kicker Braden Skinner with the 21-yard field goal, which sometimes those are harder to hit than the long ones. And then it was 24-13 at halftime. But then the man of the hour stepped in and had a couple of brilliant runs. The 55-yard run by Ethan Moore was really a good effort on his part and just kind of what he saw. It seems maybe, and we'll talk to him, but maybe your take on that read option, is he kind of getting more comfortable with that? Or do you see now, because I know early in the first two games it was like if he would have handed it off, it would have been a big run. If he had kept it, it would have been a big run. Now it seems like he's figured that out.
Yeah, it is, and we kind of designed a few of those in the second half that to look like the read option, but they were designated keepers for him with some counter schemes. With Milam and TJ, people are going to key on them. And, when you had them go in a certain direction, then you had the offensive line blocking back the opposite, and we were able to get some of those plays where they were over-pursuing because they're going to have to stop those two, and it created opportunities. Offensive line did a great job adjusting in the second half. They had primary show to be a 3-4 defense, and they started off it was weird. I can't even explain what they kind of jumped in early against us with the way they were playing their safeties down kind of at a linebacker depth because of injuries for their part. And then also we turn around there in a 4-down. And, that's a whole nother scheme and a whole nother set of rules for the O-line to adjust to. So it kind of threw us off balance. It's kind of why we had the sack fumble and some things we kind of hadn't seen that yet this year, and it was the first time live seeing it. So Coach Clark, the offense staff, Coach Cowling, and all of them did a great job of getting them resettled back in, got us back on our 4-down rules, and then after that they kind of tried to balance. But we found the counters and schemes and then challenged Ethan in half to really put his foot down and go. He's so fast. And sometimes him, Milan, and TJ all both are looking for that big move. And, like, sometimes putting your foot down and just running is the best move you have. And when they kind of started taking that mentality a lot more in the second half and got those really big runs, really big plays for us.
So your offensive line has seen a lot of different looks with the first week against Vista, then against Anderson, and now against Weiss, and they've seemed to adjusted well. Is that going to pay off when you come into the district, or are you going to see those opponents like consolidated next week that – is going to stay in pretty much a 4-front or a 3-front?
I think Consolidated is going to stick in what they do. I mean, with what we saw the first two games out of them, which is kind of odd to only have 2 games going into week 4, but their bye week was last week, or an early bye for them. So we only had 2 games, but they look like a defensive coordinator that's entrusted in the 4-down. The way he plays, and their 4-down is, they're pretty. They are some good-looking dudes. and they play well. So I don't see them taking those guys out of their positions. They trust in their system. So we'll see that, where we'll see a lot more movement is when we get into the next week following we see the Park. They love to really mix up their front. They'll show a 3-4. They'll run a linebacker down. They'll shift the line and bring an outside backer up. They'll play the game with us a little bit. So it'll be back and forth throughout the year. But this experience from Midland Lee up to now is going to pay a lot of dividends for us.
Beneficial for you. That's what I believe we were getting at was just all of that experience that they have now. And you're now just in the fourth game of the season, so you're getting better prepared for those district opponents,
Absolutely.
which is coming in another week, which has kind of been nice because the last 2 years it's two non-district and you go straight into district play, and you've got some injuries. Now you're able to get maybe some of those players back. Talk a little bit about how that has helped you this season versus what you've experienced the last 2 seasons.
Well, I think especially with our youth up front on the offensive line, even though we have Aiden and Bagley back, those other 3 guys are all playing, for the first time. And even Aiden moved to center. It's still new. It's still different. So being able to have this extended preseason, so to speak, before the real season starts in district has been nice because each week we've learned a little bit about ourselves. And what I've been real proud of this team is throughout the first 3 weeks, what plagued us one week, we've adapted and fixed the next. So I haven't seen too much of the same mistakes biting us in and out consistently. Now, there's still things we're working on. There's still a lot we're trying to get fixed. But some of that, is the guys we got. We got to play better. And some of that's still coaching. We've got to make better adjustments in what we're doing and put our guys now after seeing them 3 weeks on film. And fortunate part is none of that's district. Where, Vista and all them, they're already 1 game in and they're rolling. And those games we saw one year, that can be pivotal. That week 3 win may be the one that cost you a playoff spot or not.
Yeah.
We saw it now. We got to be ready to go because you don't have that luxury of maybe waiting for somebody else to slip up because it's such a short group and such a short amount of time. You got to get every win you can.
All right, Coach, we'll wrap up, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our players of the week for the varsity come up. And so we will be back with more of the Inside Raider Nation here on the KMAX Sports.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Socialize with us.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click. It's real easy, man.
On Twitter, @KMAX Sports. Or catch us on Facebook. Search KMAX Sports. Just another way KMAX Sports is bringing your teams to you. From West Texas all the way to the Bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you. Socialize with us.
You don't have what they call the social skill.
On Twitter, @KMAX Sports. Or catch us on Facebook. Search KMAX Sports. Just another way KMAX Sports is bringing your teams to you.
1, 2, 3, hit!
More coverage of your high school teams. Let's just say we keep it real.
And you know this, man.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Thank you to our producer, Chuck Licata, Merle Bertrand, our QA, back in the KMAX studio. Sonny Zapeta here with Coach Mann, and now joining us, and we'll go through our varsity players of the week.
Yeah, this week, Varsity Players of the Week. We'll start at the top. Our overall player of the week this year for the varsity was Kane Adamas with his little defensive play at linebacker. I think he had a couple turnovers, 1 fumble, 1 interception, and then obviously a lot of tackles in the game. Our offensive player of the week was Ethan Moore. Defensive player, which we could have selected anybody. I mean, the whole D-line really had a great night. I believe we set some records and sacks in that game, but Malachi Jones really has had – this is really his 3rd consecutive week of playing really well. So he was our defensive player of the week. Special teams player of the week was Drew Henson. He just continues to not surprise us, but surprise everybody. Like those punts that were on the ground rolling, and there's twice you see in the end zone. I think he was trying to pull off the North Texas thing a couple times. Kind of slow playing. I'm not going to get it, and then boom, would run and just field it, and he's fearless in it. So love that out of him. He had a great time, did a great job on special teams. And then our scout team player of the week is here tonight, Caden Westbrook. Doing a tremendous job. Caden plays D-line, defensive end, and wherever they move him around against that offensive line during the week. And there's times I'm watching it on the other side of the inside zone, and it's like this kid's going to be a player for us. He's really doing a lot of great things over there and doing a lot of good work and making us get better on Friday night. JV player of the week was Jackson Lewis, who's here with us tonight as well. Offensively, he played running back, he's been battling a couple injuries here and there, but it was really nice to have him back on the field. Offensively, Sam Giebelhaus. For the offense, defense was Garrett Hicks, one of our corners, and then our JV special team player of the week was Will Fisher. Then our freshmen, who got their first big win as a freshman A, they were combined the week before. They didn't get their win, but they had a great game. Our freshman A team offensive overall player was E.J. Moore, running back, linebacker. Really excited to see this young man coming up. Our offense player, one of our offensive linemen, Brandon Ugure, and I hope I pronounced it right. We've been battling with that. Defense player was Christian Legans, and then special team player Tanner Ingram, our kicker, and he's also an offensive lineman. Great combination. Love it. Freshman player of the game was Anthony Hornsby, our overall MVP. Freshman had a great game. They got their first win of the year, is what I was trying to reference to a while ago. Offensively, Corbin Derman, 2 big catches, and then defensively, Jared Bennett, and then our special team player was Mason Johnson for our freshman B.
All right. Well, we're going to start with the quarterback, as we call him the kick. We give Braden the kicker status, so we're going to go with Ethan. There, you probably don't even know. Coach Brez probably does. He knows exactly who that is. So that's Ethan Moore. We'll just pass the microphone around. First, last name.
Cannon Thomas. Caden Westbrook. Jackson Lewis.
Drew Henson.
Malachi Jones.
All right. Malachi, we're going to start with you since you have the microphone in your hand. Tell us who your favorite athlete is.
My favorite athlete, I watch a lot of basketball, so it's probably Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving, okay. All right. Drew, what about you?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. Jackson?
I would say Saquon Barkley.
Oh. Even though they lost to the Cowboys last night? Okay. Anyway, I just had to get that in. Sorry.
I would say DeMarcus Ware.
Okay. I like that one.
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. Okay.
That's Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger? Is that what you said? Because he had the big game against USC? Okay. All right, we're going to stick with you. How has the transition been from offense to now being the quarterback? So got 2 quarterbacks. You're the quarterback of the defense now. How has that transition been for you?
I mean, it was tough at first, but now I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. The more I study the plays and everything, but it's starting to get easier as I practice.
So you like hitting people now?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yes, because you had a couple of, maybe 1 or 2 introductions that you made to the Pflugerville Weiss players.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
And then the interception. Talk about that interception.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was,
It
would have been good if it had been a one-handed catch, but the fact you tipped it up to yourself and were able to go get it, that's just as good.
Yeah.
All right. Ethan, we're going to ask you the next question. Any place in the world you could go on vacation, this is your dream vacation, where do you go and who do you take with you? Oh.
Probably up somewhere in the mountains, and I'll take the O-line because they keep me safe.
It's good. We'll see if that's the same answer at the end of the season after they've protected you. Caden, what about you? Anywhere that you could go, dream vacation, where would you go and who would you go with?
I would have to say Hawaii because I've never been, and I always see pictures, so I want to go. And then I would take my mom and dad and my cousin.
Okay. Nice. Mom and dad because they're going to pay for it? Oh, there you go. I like it. All right, Jackson, tough question here. If you were a spirit animal, what animal would that be?
Bear.
Quick. Why bear?
Well, first of all, one of my favorite movies is Brother Bear. And so basically after watching that movie.
Okay. I like it. He's quick on those answers. All right, big. I did. Yeah, Drew?
Lion.
A lion.
Yeah.
Okay, why lion?
Because I'm a monster.
All right. Malachi, what about you? Spirit animal. Which one would you be?
I'd be a gorilla.
Gorilla. Why gorilla?
Because I'm built like one.
Okay. There you go. That's logical. Makes sense. All right. Malachi, we're going to stick with you, and then we'll go down here to Kane. If you could have dinner with two people, past or present, who would they be?
That's a great one. I would have dinner with that is great. That's
okay. It's so good. We're gonna come back to you. Now you've given everybody else time to think about it. Kane?
I would probably do Matthew McConaughey for one, and George Washington. I want to see what he's about.
Okay. Matthew McConaughey. That's the interesting dinner. All right. Ethan, what about you?
Baker Mayfield, of course.
Yes.
And Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Should know, Coach. Never take a drink when they're giving answers. Just yeah. There you go. All right, Caden, what about you? Past or present? Two people you could have dinner with.
I would have to go with definitely Jesus, and I'm going to have to say Abraham Lincoln. He's my favorite president.
Abraham Lincoln and Jesus.
Got you, Drew.
All right. Hey, getting some good answers. All right, Jackson.
I would say Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison.
We're going way back. Man, these guys are smart. All right, Drew.
I do Abraham Lincoln and John Wilkes Booth.
All right, Malachi. Had some time.
I'd have dinner with Kaepernick and Trump.
Kaepernick and Trump.
That'd be entertaining. That'd be a fun dinner.
They're trying to cure the world's problem.
By bringing them to dinner, right? I mean,
get them to sit down and talk.
Yeah. All right. So, tell us, Malachi. We'll start with you. Your favorite Friday night music, like your favorite song, if you can say it. What's your go-to song? It has to be playing every Friday.
There's this one song by TK. I can't remember the name right now, but we always play it in the locker room, and everybody knows every word.
Okay.
And it gets me really pumped up.
All right. Big man, Mr. Drew.
Take Me Home, Country Roads.
John Denver. All right.
I would say any type of song from the 70s, because that's like my favorite era for music, 70s, 80s.
70s classic rock. There you go. Makes Chuck feel better. There you go. Some.
Can't Hold Us by Macklemore.
Okay. Well, there's a wide variety of songs that we're listening to.
Lost It by Rich the Kid.
Okay. I don't know that one. Say it. I'll have to look it up later. All right, Kane. What? Rich.
The kid.
The kid.
I'll just say Country Road too.
Country Road?
Yeah.
That gets you motivated?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Plug that in my ears and we're ready to go.
Did you play that on Friday night?
For sure.
Or Thursday night? Thursday, because we played Thursday.
Yeah. Chris Collins played in my ear. I was sleeping. Got me going.
Got to do that same routine come Friday, yes?
Oh, yeah. Every Friday.
Every Friday. So do you have any superstitions besides Country Road and taking a nap?
No, that's about it.
Okay. No certain socks you got to wear, gloves,
no, I wear,
undershirt?
No. I wear different color socks, but I change colors every week.
Okay. So no superstitions. What about the quarterback of the offense? Any superstitions you have? Pre-game rituals?
I usually wear the same socks. I'll wash them, but
okay.
I usually have the same ones.
It's good. It's a little concerning there. What about you, Caden?
I listen to music a lot, so I have a game day playlist to kind of get me in the mood for whenever I'm going to be playing it later that night.
Okay.
I always watch highlights of Saquon Barkley or Ezekiel Elliott, of basically my favorite players.
Okay. Well, 1 out of 2 is not bad. All right. Go ahead, Drew. What about you?
I gotta wear everything the same every game day. All the same stuff every game day.
Which is like before
Like
the game?
socks and gloves and mouthpiece. And, yeah, some other stuff I don't know.
Okay. Same stuff. Malachi, what about you?
After the team, like after we warm up and we're running back to the locker room, I always have to jump up and pretend like I'm dunking on the goalpost. I do that every game. I forgot to do it against Anderson and it didn't work out. So I'm going to make sure I do it every single game.
Now we know. So Coach Mann's going to remind you.
It was my fault.
At least he takes ownership of it. All right, so real quickly, it's going to be quick. Mountains or beach? Which you prefer?
Beach.
Beach. Drew?
Beach.
Beach.
Mountains.
Mountains.
Mountains, it's too hot.
Beach.
Beach?
Beach.
Okay. All right, yeah, figured that. All right, so anybody that you want to give a shout-out to? We'll do your shout-outs.
Oh, my family, front seven, Coach Perez and Coach Pablo.
My family, O-line, Coach Callen.
My mom for driving me to 5 o'clock practices in the morning.
All of my family and friends and my team.
My family, all the receivers, and Coach Elrod.
My family, the front seven, and all my – I already said family, so that's it.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. This varsity players
on the bus all the way back to Rouse, and I was pretty impressed.
There you go.
They were in sync. It was good.
Chuck, Chuck had a question for you about the Weiss game and Pflugerville Weiss,
Yeah.
the new program.
Yeah, back before your first ever game against Liberty Hill, I'm sure you remember you and I having that discussion in your office way back when. The Austin American Statesman reporter actually picked up on that and started the article by saying if there's somebody that understands about starting a program, it would be Coach Mann, and kind of went back to when you started, which really impressed me because Statesman guys usually don't do that. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry. But it brought up a great point about what you talked to Coach about, because I'm sure you talked to the coach after the game, and just kind of like, I mean, we could write a book as to how to start a program, but like maybe one or two of the biggest things about starting a program now that you've got this team and this program where it's at, looking back.
Oh man, looking back, with us having our 10-year last year and celebrating that 10-year success going into this season, and it's just like I told them, it's such a special fraternity that we're in when you open a school, because not everybody gets that opportunity, not everybody wants that opportunity, and then to me it's even a little. I mean, we came along, and then Vandergrift followed in right the next year with us, so there's a common heritage that me and Coach Sanders share. I mean, we would share stories on Friday nights after both of us went through some battles and wars where you're not on the good side of those wins, and it's a lot of times it was ugly. It was 50-0 at half, and you're having to talk to coaches, their coach wanting to know if you want to run the clock or not in a varsity game, which is definitely not the conversation you ever want to have, and especially going into that first varsity season without seniors. Anytime there's a lot of school program districts that'll open that'll avoid that circumstance. So wait till Glennon's getting a good opportunity here. They're not playing their first varsity season until now with seniors, and if you don't have seniors in that first run, it is just you're climbing a huge mountain. You got some guys that are really good varsity players and some really good JV players playing, and there's nothing like the credibility of a senior. Right. The leadership, just learning, keeping your head up when things get down, and that will to keep fighting through. And when you're a senior, you're fighting for a little bit more. Good is most of the time you're last. And so when you see a program going through that same lineage and that same testimony and trials, and you could see it in that coach's face and those eyes, and you know how hard they're working. Their kids, what I love watching is when you see some of them, how do the kids perform in the fourth quarter? Are they just out there? Are they whining? Are they complaining? They just let's just get home, coach? are they flying around and still blocking, still being physical and tackling? And, I mean, that was one thing that impressed us about their staff and what they're doing at White's is you turn on the fourth quarter of every game they played in, they are running down the field. They are hitting. They are tackling. They're playing physical. They're frustrated. They're mad that they're not winning. And so that's just a sign that they're on track. So, man, and I'm telling you, said it, if you haven't done it, I think every coach should have to go do it once because you're going to be humbled a lot in the process of opening a school. And then when you come through that and the credibility that you have once you come through that, it changes the way you coach. I always refer to like having kids. You know, you sit around your friends that don't have kids and they're telling you how to raise your kids or, oh, my gosh, this and that, and you're like, stop. And there's no book to it. Until you have kids, you can forget it, no matter how much your parents or whatever say. Once you have your 2 kids and you're the one responsible, it's a whole nother playbook. And so I think it's the same of opening a school.
So can you share with us, because after the game I saw that there were a few of the Weiss players around you and you were giving them, you were talking to them and they were intently listening. Can you share with us kind of some of the things that you might have said to them?
I was so humbled because we go out there and we're shaking their hands and their head coach, which I've gotten to know, we've talked in the process when he went for the Weiss job and, we've shared a couple things. He's picked my brain on a couple things opening the school and we've talked about it, and it's one reason why he wanted to play us because he knew we'd been through that, and that's a great lineage for their school. And he asked me, can you go grab a couple of those guys, especially the 2 guys, 55 and 58 off their defensive line, because you could see the disappointment, frustration. Can you just say some things? You've been here, done that. And I said, oh, man, one that floored me, just that he asked me to talk to his kids. I think that meant a lot to the character of our program over the years and the character of what our coaches and players have done in our community. And I just grabbed those guys and told them, don't get their head down. Keep it up. You're building something here. We were there too. Even though, we didn't win, we had our heart crushed against Vandergrift that year where we were winning in the last second, gave up a field goal. And we just you think it's so bad. And then the next year you notch a couple of those opportunities, and then you never know. You'll turn around, and this senior class-wise, they may not make the playoffs next year. They may not get in that run. But you're laying down that lineage that's going to spark. And we know Pflugerville schools, they're at any time capable of getting hot and making a run anywhere in the state of Texas. So I think that was what his message was, trying to tell them, just stay the path. Whether you get there or not, what you're doing is unbelievable. You're taking a challenge that a lot of people probably backed out of there and didn't choose to go there because of that challenge. And you have stuck it out. You've trusted the system. Just keep trusting. They got a great coach. Just keep their heads up.
Very nice. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we will talk with one of the assistant coaches. Actually, we may get 2 of them up here, and we'll talk to them. We'll be right back with more of the Inside Raider Nation on KMAX Sports.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
Vype Media is the state's most comprehensive high school sports media outlet, covering UIL, private schools. Vype has been in Texas for over a decade. Visit their website at Vype, Texas.com. And also pick up your Vype magazine today. Get in the game with Vype Media.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, and this is what we do.
Looking left, throws into the end
Bad
zone.
snap again. He hits the turf, and Devon scoops it up. Taylor Wilkins
corner of the end zone.
15,
10, 5, touchdown.
We are the largest, the best online broadcasting company in all of Central Texas.
Side, he's got blockers in front of him.
10,
Touchdown.
5, touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Bringing your teams to you since 2003. It's what we do. We are KMAX Sports.
Hey, have you liked us on Facebook yet?
Whoa, stop right there.
Well, why not? Search KMAXSports.com and like us now.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmaxsports.com. That's info@kmaxsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up, info@kmaxsports.com, bringing your teams and your highlights to you. We are KMAX
Socialize
Sports.
with us.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
On Twitter @KMax Sports or catch us on Facebook. Search KMax Sports. Just another way KMax Sports is bringing your teams to you.
Here with you tonight, and joining me now is Coach Bresnahan.
Good evening.
Rouse Raiders, also Coach Elrod.
Hello.
You guys have to come up better than that. These the varsity guys, players of the week, they absolutely killed it.
Smashing.
Do we need Drew? You and Kane may need to come up here and sit with Coach Elrod. He's not really. Not really. All right, Coach Brez, we're gonna start with you. So, the question is how many years of wonderful coaching experience do you have?
We added up. I believe this is my 18th year.
18th year. So
Long
in
in
that
the
time,
tooth.
that's look pretty good for your age.
I don't look bad for 53.
53? Oh, okay, I was going to say 43, but okay. You're going to say 53. You look good.
Thanks.
For 53. All right, so tell us one thing. We're going to get to know you a little bit, and then we're going to ask you the tough defensive questions of, how you give up plays in the fourth quarter. Not really, Coach, not really. We're not going to do that to you. We save that for everybody else. So the tough questions. Is cereal a soup?
I would say no because it doesn't come in a can, maybe.
Okay, yeah. There's no wrong answer.
Well, soup it has to cook a little bit, warm up.
Okay.
Yeah. So no.
No. Okay. But there's a cold soup, right? You can. I don't know. Say that's
cold soup.
Yeah. I don't need. Maybe. All right. So tell us, what's one thing that you do not like to do? Like you absolutely despise doing it.
Weed eating.
I was going to say the same exact thing, and I didn't tell him to say that. It just has to be done, but that is not my favorite thing to do.
That's why you have two boys.
Well, Lane is just looking down. Lane's here. Yeah. So tell us, what's your worst fear? Worst fear.
We went deep there.
We were going deep.
Well, like any parent, that's their worst fear is losing their child.
Yeah. Yeah. You went deeper.
Well,
we went deep, and
you asked for a deep question.
Yeah, all right. So tell me, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
I like pineapple on pizza, especially if you have Canadian bacon. You can't go wrong with pineapple on pizza.
Coach Elrod, pineapple on pizza. What's your take?
No.
I'm right there.
Add in
with
some
you.
mushrooms.
I don't know. That's just hard for me to fathom. Now the difficult questions. Tell me what defines a great season to you.
Well, the win-loss is always the public's mindset, but that's not the truth of it. Is the great season is the relationship with kids. There were teams that I had at Wiley and teams that we had that came up through Rouse that didn't win a lot of ball games. Those kids I'm still in contact with. I get invited to their weddings. They come into town and we go eat and still go fishing with them and talk to them pretty routinely on the phone. That's the meaning of the successful season. Do these young men that I'm coaching this year, do they grow up and become better fathers and better men because of the time I got to spend around them? That's a successful season.
Yep. I would agree with that. Most people, like I said, just wins and losses. What did you do? It's more about that because it's and athletics teaches you so much more, so many life skills.
Absolutely.
And I know as a fan of sports and you as a coach, people are going to say, well, you're supposed to say that. You firmly believe it because you see it in those kids that have gone through the program and now are on the other side living their life, and how many things that football has taught them.
Absolutely. There's probably one of the absolute greatest joys I've ever had in coaching is getting a Happy Father's Day text from an athlete, from a former athlete. And, ones that you coached 10 years ago, 15 years ago, texting you from Happy Father's Day or Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday along those lines. It's a pretty good feeling when it happens for you.
Yeah, and I know Coach Mann, will tweet out or message those players that are playing at the next level beginning of the season and just say, hey, have a good season, but have a good time at college.
Yeah.
Is more just about that experience. And so that carries on, and you see it. And I don't think people get to see that side because they're not around you guys as much as we have been here at KMAC or have had kids go through the program yet. But I think personally that's a good thing for the parents to look forward to is their kids being around great men like you guys.
Well, for me, they hear the other side. They don't
Yes.
get to see it. They get to hear the other side so much.
Yeah. All right, so your biggest surprise defensively this season has been what for you on the defensive side? What's been the biggest surprise in 3 games?
As fast as we're able to pick up and adapt the different things that we do. We don't set in a front very often. We don't set with one coverage very often. We run about 6 different fronts. We run about 18 different coverages, and I know everyone looks at you and kind of gives you one of those, but the kids' ability to adapt with the different fronts, the different blitz combinations that we run. We have wristband calls, and we have 4 wristbands, four sets of wristbands alone. That's 40 different blitzes, and that's not to mention the hand signals that go in with those blitzes. So we have about 55 different blitz combinations that we run, combined with the 18 coverages behind, and the 4 different fronts.
And this is in addition to those kids going to school all through the week and on Friday, and then going and playing a football
Absolutely.
game Friday night. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a little bit to it. And
There's a lot of time. They've got to spend as much time. Kane Adamas over the weekend is spending as much time doing film study as what he is studying and still passing class and still making his grades.
Yeah. So, all right. So, all that good, the rewarding part of coach. What's the most difficult part of coaching?
The laundry.
I would say
the laundry.
So you do all the football laundry? Does that mean on the weekend you do the laundry? Like you're in that mode and you just go home?
I don't do all of it. Don't get me wrong. I don't do all of it. We do a lot of laundry.
Yeah.
We have a laundry guy that takes care of a lot of it for us, but there's still a lot of folding and hanging back up of game stuff. Everything they wear on a Thursday or Friday night has to get folded and get hung back up. So there's a lot of laundry there, not to mention the towels. They come in on a Saturday and wear their clothes again, so we have to wash everything and wash their towels so it's ready back for them again on Monday.
So a lot of washing.
A lot of laundry.
Oh, well. All right. So if someone asked to be your apprentice and learn all that you know, what would you teach them?
How to take one of those helmets apart and put it back together, because that would be the first job I would give up.
Yeah, those look a little difficult. I'm just looking at the side here. I'm at a loss. So what else would you teach them? You have 18 years of coaching experience. What's maybe advice that you would give somebody? You think of like Aiden Kozak, who's going to go into coaching. You have TJ Walski, who's at Consolidated. What's one thing that you could give them, a piece of advice that you could give those guys?
Learn how to manage your time and have some downtime away from it in the middle of the day, especially in the middle of the day, because that's the biggest thing. Like today was one of those days that I had to take a little time and get a time away from, and step back from it, and have a little bit of time to unwind. And it was only 30 minutes running at the convenience store, and that worked. So the biggest thing is time management and budget in that time to get away from it for a second, so you can breathe and enjoy something besides just the nuts and bolts of it.
We may just give them this recording of this. It may help them, Coach Perez. You never
Well,
know.
those 2 guys can teach me a heck of a lot more about time management.
Well, being in college, yeah. That's been a few years since you were at college, right? Up in
One or two.
Northwestern. Just
one or two.
Yeah,
a gray hair or 2.
Yeah.
Appreciate you pointing that out. At least it's still full.
Oh, yeah, it is still full.
It's not falling out.
There's Chuck, right on cue. All right. So, Coach, we're going to let you go. We're not going to ask you any of those questions.
I'm not going to get my song?
Well, I was going to ask you before we cut away, is Country Road one of your favorite songs now?
No, I've got to go ahead and go with Cole and go with Careless Whisper.
Careless Whisper. Like,
he wasn't here last year when that was said, was he? Mm-mm. Yeah, my son, my senior year graduated last year.
That song right there.
Said that his pregame song was Careless Whisper.
I'm thinking of like the other version of Careless Whisper, not the. I don't know.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. It's
Country
all right.
Roads. That's just kind of a feel-good song. I guess that makes them feel good. And they play well, so
If it works.
It works. It works.
If it works.
Not going to change anything. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My family, of course, my 2 boys, and the front 7 that I've been pretty hard on them the last couple of weeks, and they're starting to step up and figure it out and play.
All right. Coach Elrod, you have something that you want to tell us about?
Yes. We are 2 weeks into our Touchdowns Against Cancer campaign. We are currently sitting at 8 touchdowns over the last 2 games, which has a donation of $180 by 2 donors. And what I really want to try to promote over the next 2 weeks is really push Raider Nation to donate to the platform. You can go to touchdownsagainstcancer.com. We have partnered with St. Jude's and Max Preps to help fight this horrible disease that affects a lot of our youth today. And I want to kind of stress it doesn't have to be huge donation. It could be $1 a touchdown, $12, and we get enough of those things added up. Our goal is $1,000, and hopefully we can get that done over the next 2 weeks to really contribute to help those doctors find a cure against this horrible thing that affects so many young people. So.
All right, Coach Elrod. We'll let you give a shout out too. You always give a shout out.
Of course, Emma and Riley, my wife Taylor. Of course, the receivers, the quarterback, O-line. Coach Bress for not yelling at me today. Coach Mann for keeping me employed. Parents, thank you for letting me coach your kids. And, of course, you, Sonny, for helping me every Sunday tweet out some amazing things to promote our kids. So.
Absolutely, Coach.
I didn't yell at you Sunday.
I know. I appreciate
That's 2 days in a row.
I know. I'm happy. I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket.
He's happy about that, Coach. I guess that gets to him. We're going to take a quick break. We come back, we will have our RIFA Players of the Week. They're going to come up, steal the show as they do every week. You're listening to Inside Radio.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.
At Austin Pets Alive, the mission is to promote and provide the resources, education, and programs needed to eliminate the killing of companion animals. That means more happy pets joining more happy families every single day. In fact, Austin Pets Alive has saved more than 25,000 dogs and cats since 2008. And you can help. Adopt a new family member, help out with a donation, or roll up your sleeves and volunteer. If you have love, time, or money to spare, we all have at least one of those, you're needed. Visit AustinPetsAlive.com to get started. Austin Pets Alive, helping people help pets.
From West Texas all the way to the bayou and all points in between.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
This is the KMAX Sports Network, bringing your teams to you.
Purchase a copy of this or any KMAC broadcast for personal use, and portions of the proceeds go to your school. Whether you're making a highlight video or just want to be able to enjoy this game years in the future, send us a note to info@kmaxsports.com. That's info@kmaxsports.com. We can even do some editing for you for a small fee. Purchase any broadcast for personal use. Hit us up, info@kmaxsports.com, bringing your teams and your highlights to you.
Are the RIFA Youth Players of the Week, and we're going to let those guys introduce yourselves. So first and last name, and who's your coach?
Neil Barton, and my coach is Coach Don and Coach Eric.
Okay.
Hayden Manette, and my coach is Coach Mike.
Kai Jackson, and my coach is Coach Mike.
Okay, keep that, Kai. You can keep it. What position do you play?
I play wide receiver and cornerback.
All right.
I play middle linebacker and quarterback.
Defensive end.
Just defense.
And backup running back.
Okay, that's a good combination. Backup running back and D-line. Tell us who your favorite player is. Let's keep it with football. Who's your favorite football player?
Leonard Fournette.
Okay, that's...
Chris Boyd.
Marshawn Lynch.
Okay, that's some good ones. Chris Boyd, I'm not sure. Who does he play for?
Texas.
Okay. Texas. Who's your favorite team? Let's say NFL team. Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Seattle Seahawks.
It's okay.
Denver Broncos.
Dallas Cowboys.
There you go. We save the best for last. We're going to play the Seattle Sea Chickens this weekend. You know that? Yeah? Is Seahawks going to win? Oh, okay. Maybe you come back next week and we'll see. Okay? All right. Tell us your favorite Halloween candy.
Snickers.
Snickers. All right.
Reese's.
Reese's.
Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cups.
Reese's Cups.
Reese's Cups with Reese's Pieces in it? No? Okay. I'm just going out on a limb. I'm glad you're definitely right about your answer. All right. Tell us what your favorite color is. Maroon.
Maroon. Maroon and gold.
Maroon and gold.
Purple.
Oh. Okay, he went out on a limb there. All right, it's okay. Purple favorite color. That, like Vikings purple? No, just purple? Oh, okay. So your favorite college team is LSU? Okay.
There you go.
Oh. At least you didn't say that other team, that burnt orange team. Yeah, at least we didn't say them. Kane's looking at you. He's a big guy.
Who?
Kane right there. That guy right there. Plays middle linebacker.
It's my second favorite.
Your second favorite's Texas? Okay, good call. That's a good recovery there. All right, so tell us your favorite TV show. You get to watch TV a lot? Mm-hmm. Okay, so your favorite TV show?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. We got SpongeBob. That's one for SpongeBob.
Okay, SpongeBob.
This is SpongeBob. I didn't want to think about it.
SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob sweeps it.
He gets it there. All right. So what's your favorite food of all time? Like you could eat it all day long.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Steak.
Ooh.
Tacos.
Man, these are some good answers.
Captain!
I can't hear you!
Captain!
All right. If you had a superpower, what would that superpower be?
To be invisible.
Be invisible. Okay. All right.
I like to fly.
To fly.
Super speed.
Super speed, invisible, and we're going to fly. That's a pretty good combination, guys. They are all over it. So tell me, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Strawberry.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. We can go with that. All right. We'll go back to Mr. Vanilla here in the middle. Tell us your favorite thing about playing football.
Scoring touchdowns.
Okay. You play defense too? Tackling? Because you get to hit some people and not get in trouble, right? That's a good thing. How many touchdowns? What's the most touchdowns you've scored in a game?
2.
2. That's 2 more than me. All right. Kai, favorite thing about playing football?
Tackling.
Tackling. You like the defensive side better? Yeah, Coach Van and Coach Brez excited to hear that. All right. What's your favorite thing about playing football?
Tackling and making big hits.
Tackling. Here you go. Guys, defensive guys, you got them. They're coming. They're coming. All right, so tell us what's one thing, and you don't have to give us any deep, dark secrets, okay? But what's one thing at home that you do not like to do? Like pick up your room, take out the trash.
Empty the dishwasher.
Empty the dishwasher. That is
Pick up laundry.
Clean my room.
Clean your room. Is it dirty right now? No? Good. All right. Beginning of the week. Mom says, are you sure? We'll go home and check it out.
Wait. Define clean, though.
Oh, yes.
Define clean. What is clean and what is dirty?
Dirty is clothes and stuff on the
Clothes it. Yeah, clothes. Not food yet. You can't have food in your room? Yeah. Okay. All right. So clean and dirty just depends who you ask. All right. But it is Monday. We'll see how that goes. All right. Coach Mann? Coach Mann's always got good questions. I'm going to let Coach Mann ask you a question.
All right, tough one. What is your favorite subject in school?
Math.
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 Wow.
Science.
Science.
Mine was lunch. I love lunch. Recess.
Recess? You could have said recess. It's okay.
Recess.
Coach Elrod says that all the time. His favorite part of school is recess. Still, I don't know how he gets recess at high school, but he does. Yeah? All right. So, another
Well, I
question?
want to know where they would want to go on vacation. So if parents could take you to any place or where you've ever been, what is your favorite vacation spots?
Probably go to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii.
Seattle.
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 There you go.
Vacation
Awesome.
hotspot, Seattle. I like that. All right. All right. So if Coach Mann gave you, because I don't have $1 million. Coach Mann, do you have $1 million? Let's pretend.
Do you take a check?
Coach Mann gives you a check for $1 million. What's the first thing that you buy? Ooh, that's a tough one. I got Kai. You can pass that microphone because I bet you Manette knows.
A new TV.
A new TV. How big would that TV be? The biggest one you could buy? Cover the entire wall? I like that answer. All right.
I'd probably bribe him to let me play on varsity. Freshman year.
Can I win?
Well, there you go.
Get it back.
You get it back.
A pool.
A pool.
A pool with a slide?
Sure.
Hot tub? Like you got $1 million, right? Yeah. No house, no cars.
Later.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. All right, you guys gonna be ready for trivia here in a minute? It's gonna be you guys against these varsity guys.
And right now, the youth league is up 2-0, so no pressure.
So no pressure to keep the lead.
You got to keep the
You
lead
do have
tonight.
some cushion, okay? Yeah. All right. Anybody you want to say hello to? No?
Shout-outs? No shout-outs?
Shout out to my coaches, my team, and my family.
There you go. That's a good one.
Probably the offensive line because they keep me safe.
There you go.
Like a true quarterback.
No? You want to say hi to your family?
Your little sister?
There you go, family. You got the hi. All right, guys. This has been our Ryfa Players of the Week. Let's give them a hand. All right. Ethan, Kane, Drew.
Come on up.
Caden.
It's time to do it. Y'all ready for this? Big pressure. Come on in. Come on. How do you get here? Come on.
All right, so we're going to help you out by giving you multiple choice, Ethan. So we're going to help you out, okay? All right, you guys want to go first since you're losing 2-0? Oh, you're gonna let the young guys go first. Okay. You guys ready? Who's the UT guys? Any UT guys? Okay. All right, so here's your question. University of Tulsa's mascot has the name of what? Listen to the choices. Red Cyclone, Green Typhoon, Black Tornado, or the Golden Hurricanes? The first one? First one is Red Cyclone. You can help each other. You don't know? UT just played him like 2 games ago. Okay, say it in your microphone.
The Hurricane.
The Golden Hurricanes. He got it. There you go.
Hey, save the day.
All right, varsity guys, you ready? Which team has won the most overall conference championships? Here's your choices. Ohio State, USC, Oklahoma, or Nebraska?
Oklahoma.
Are you all in agreement? It's Nebraska. I would have picked Oklahoma too. That was a trick question. I bet.
He's
1-0.
See that? Knowing Sonny and knowing it's Oklahoma, beat you up big time.
Yeah, that got
Yep.
you. Yeah, I baited you. I baited
Yep.
you there, Ethan. I'm sorry about that one. All right, guys, you ready? Boise State University sports team. They're called what? Boise State. Are they called the Wolfpack? Boise State. They play on the blue field, just so you know. Boise State Wolfpack, the Vandals, the Grizzlies or the Broncos?
I think I'm going to go with Broncos.
You think you're going to go with Broncos, and you are right. All right, 2-0. All right, here we go. All right, you guys ready? Drew, you ready? Okay. Which team has the highest total of wins in the FBS? A, Notre Dame, B, Ohio State, C, Alabama, or D, Michigan? Highest total of wins in the FBS.
Alabama.
Alabama. Do we have the buzzer that goes, nah? No? Okay. Nah, that's wrong. It's actually Michigan. No.
What?
All right, this one is
He's answered every one of them so far.
he really has. All right, so you guys ready? University of Pittsburgh. Their mascot.
I never even heard of them.
Is it the Tigers, the Lions, the Jaguars, or the Panthers?
I have no idea.
Hit what?
First one, Tigers. Panthers, Lions, or Jaguars?
Take a guess.
Take a guess.
He said Panthers.
Panthers, and you are right. Good job. Good guess. All right, your guys are down 3-0. All right, here we go. Ethan, are you ready? The Red River rivalry was first played in 1900. It was first won by Texas. That's hard for me to say. By a score of 28-2. Which teams has more wins in the series, Texas or Oklahoma?
Texas.
Texas, you got one right. I didn't get the shutout. It's all right, guys. You got a lead.
I'm happy it's Texas, but
You're happy it's Texas?
Mad he got it.
I just don't. I'm mad that they got it.
Oh, well, you're mad because you didn't get the shutout. Yeah, it's okay. You guys are still winning. All right, one more question for each side. This is a bonus. Okay, so it's worth 2 points. Yeah, so you can just put them away here, or they can tie it up if you don't get it right. You guys got to learn to deal with pressure, right? Okay. All right. Let's think of Kansas State. Kansas State, right? They're purple. So it should be right up your alley. Yes, they are. Purple and silver. All right. Kansas State, their mascot, is it the Cyclones, the Bison, the Hawks, or the Wildcats? Definite answer. Final answer. Wildcats is right. All right. All right. So this is just for really dignity, I guess, that you get more than 1 point. We'll give you the 2. All right. Let's see. Which school or schools have won the most Heisman trophies? This is going to be easy. Ohio State, Notre Dame, or Ohio State and Notre Dame together. They're tied. A, Ohio State, B, Notre Dame, or C, A and B. They're really thinking about this one, I'm telling you. You go with C, A and B? You are correct. All right. Chase. I didn't say the audience couldn't help you. That's just It's a game of vision, guys. It's a game of vision. But our rifle guys win again. They're in a 3-0 lead. Good job, guys. Drink after that. Boy, the rifle players of the week.
On fire.
Man, they kill it. I don't know. They didn't seem too hard questions for the varsity guys, did it?
No.
Oh, they just should be used to that. I mean, they can do 55 different blitzes. Be able to do
right.
that. They should be okay.
Exactly.
There we go.
We got
That
the
was
buzzer
it.
working now.
Yeah.
No, those guys, they got to get out of there. They got to study more. We got to start teaching them football trivia.
Yes. So the question is, Coach, North Texas fake punt, fake fair catch. Are you going to run that this week?
We talked to Drew about it. We may put it on this week, the North Texas fake punt, and just walk up, catch it. I would not recommend that probably for a couple weeks at least, because I think everybody in the whole country now is coaching. Go take that kid out now.
Yeah.
If in doubt, wear him out. So I don't think that's necessarily going to happen there.
We're going to talk a little bit about A&M Consolidated as we prepare for them on Friday, 7 o'clock game at Bible.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit. You talked about the defensive line being big and good-looking kids. What's one thing on offense that you're going to have to do? Maybe a couple of keys to the game for you.
We got to stop number 2, their running back. He is unbelievable. He has been very explosive for them. They find a way to get him the balls multiple ways they can, whether it's giving it to him in the backfield. They throw multiple screens to him. They'll release him down the field from the backfield position, and that's a lot of times hard. You account for the deployed receivers, and sometimes that back can get lost. And they allow your safeties to split the field, and he goes right down the middle of it wide open. So if we can eliminate or contain, because eliminate is going to be a hard word with him, I think he's one of the faster kids we've seen on tape up to this point. I don't think size-wise, I think he's equivalent to Mayberry the first week, probably a little more explosive than Mayberry. The way they use him probably it allows him to create that. I think he's close to the same caliber kid as that. The hard part for them, though, is they counter that with 2 very good-looking outside receivers. Both are in the 6'3", 6'4" range, big, strong, physical kids. They've gone down the field and got jump balls in situations. And then the quarterback's a coach's son. And so anytime you add that combination, he's been in the film room. He's been around football his whole life. He's a very studious kid, and that's always a fun, competitive way. And then they have a very big offensive line. So lots of challenges on the defensive side. But I love our plan going in right now. The Coach Brez and Coach Richardson and defensive staff have come up with. They've done a tremendous job. I thought we were solid today. Cleaned a couple things up on the back half. If we can follow our tendencies, follow our sets and what we're trying to accomplish and why we're running what we're running, and force them maybe to beat us left-handed, so to speak, we have a shot to, I think, contain them and really keep the score down and give our offense a chance to get some points.
So offensively, what's one of the keys to the game for your offense?
It's maintaining their defensive line. They have not shown to be just want to get up the field, get pressure. Their job is to keep you at bay and let their 2 linebackers just run. And they got 2 athletic kids at linebacker. They don't naturally fit well, but they don't have to because those 4 guys are eating everybody up. And so we got to be able to come off established. We're going to have to execute some schemes, some new wrinkles we've been holding on to that we're going to bring out this week to see if we can take advantage of a couple things. Quarterback play is always big in these games, and we know Milan, we know Tate, we know Ethan. It's this is going to be a game where Jack and Drew and Bailey and those guys are going to have to come up. They don't have to get it the big play a lot, but they're going to have to establish some type of rhythm and get some more touches than just what we did last week in the limited amount. And that's we want to throw the ball a lot. Weiss, despite us running it at them, they never came up. They stayed back and said, run the ball if you want to beat us. And so we ran the ball and beat them. So it'll be interesting to see what A&M brings to the table. I mean, they're state ranked in Division II in the top side. I've seen 6, I've seen 5, I've seen a couple different rankings. They're obviously a really good team, and what everybody's predicting to do well in postseason.
So a tough test and a good measuring stick for your guys as you finish this last non-district game before you head into district.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to give us there. I mean, we're going to see that style for the rest of the season. Big defensive linemen, athletic secondaries. Everybody's going to have 1 or 2 receivers that are always going to be, we're going to be trying to figure a way how to limit their abilities. And everywhere I turn around, there's a new running back coming on the scene. So it's not easier either way. And we're going into a great district, and that's why I love this game right here. It gives us a chance to go out when we are going to, we've kind of had a plan going through these weeks. We got a little bit more plan to execute this next Friday night. We haven't shown the full deck of cards yet, and so we're going to lay those out there, and then let's get ready for the district play to start.
All right, as that's Friday, 7 o'clock, AC Bible Stadium.
Back-to-back Friday at Bible Stadium. That's awesome.
We're getting
like that.
Spoiled. See if we can work this out from here on out.
Oh, yeah, just play every day Bible.
Yeah, we'll just play every
it goes
game.
Bible, Gupton, Bible.
Yes.
So, I mean, and then maybe back to Cupton, I think. Well, I think we got Maynard in there somewhere we got to go.
Yeah.
But we're really spoiled the next couple weeks, and it's a great opportunity for Raider Nation to come out and get behind these boys, get loud. I mean, we saw what that atmosphere. I got the opportunity from our former manager that is an assistant equipment manager with Texas, got me and my son tickets to go to the UT game, and at 103, it was loud. It was rompous. You can see the impact that a crowd can have on a game, and we need that at home, especially this Friday night against a really good opponent.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
I mean, always the boys and mom at home. But, my mom and dad at home, my mom had got vertigo a couple weeks ago, first time she's gone through some of that, and that can be kind of scary, that first time going through that. And then my dad's going to the doctor on a couple of things, praying for him. My brother up in Oklahoma, my cousins and nieces and nephew up there, just excited for them and love watching what they're doing on Facebook. And, the Raider Nation, it's been just what a great night last Thursday night was again. You always wonder how Thursday night crowd's going to go. And early pregame was like, oh, are we going to get as many? And you turn around, and it looked like a Friday night atmosphere, and we could hear them. And really proud of that. Shout out to our drum line and our band. They won several awards last weekend. Volleyball team's off and rolling. They're, I believe, 2-0 in district right now, 2-0, 3-0 in district. So they're rolling along. Cross country's getting close. We're getting closer to that October district date for them. And Coach Thompson's got those kids running and doing a great job. And so everybody's out going right now. We've been really blessed. Get out there and go to rousefootball.com. Get on there and do the touchdowns for cancer or against cancer, not for cancer. We're definitely anti-cancer. I don't want none of that anywhere. But go out there and donate to that platform. We used to partner with Chili's and do the St. Jude's deal, and that kind of dissipated a little bit in the area. And I'm just so glad that there's another way to get back with that opportunity. And so if you can, like Coach Elrod said it great. One person did we do the teacher of the week?
Yes,
I think I missed that. So the teacher of the week was
Jamie Maples.
Jamie Maples. So, we're also a reminder, not a shout, a reminder to all Raider football players. We're 2 weeks out from grades. Please go do homework and get that stuff taken care of.
Do it now.
Let's not wait till next week to give the coaches any more stress than we need.
Any more gray hairs?
No, I don't.
No gray hairs?
No, I don't have any.
No.
Keep it short and keep the hat on. You don't even know. Stay looking young.
All right, Coach. We look forward to Friday, and we look forward to talking to you this week and talking to the seniors, and that's been a treat to talk to those guys and kind of get to know them a little bit. So always good to get them on the air.
Always.
So, always
especially
good.
James Gambrell. He's full of information.
He's
it's
so
awesome.
talkative. But we're going to wrap things up for KMAC's owner, president, Guru, who's the guy behind the cameras.
1-1 Steelers.
That was Coach
Sorry,
Mayer.
it just was there.
But I think he's trying to deflect to get it away from the fact that New England got beat yesterday. But that's okay.
I thought I almost made it through the show. That was my fault. I would have made it.
You would have made it. We wouldn't have said anything, but it's okay. But we want to thank Chuck for producing tonight. Merle, who's not only our QA, but our director of operations, our communications director, Christina Weber, technical director, Suna Venkat, and as we said, Merle for our QA in tonight. And for the head coach of the Rouse Raiders, Josh Mann, this is Sonny Zepeda, voice of the Raiders.
This is the KMAX Sports Network.